Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Magic News with Magic Ridge. I'm your host, Ridge. It's nice to meet you. And today we are going to go over the Modern Horizons 2 spoilers for, it is May 31st, along with one Adventures of the Forgotten Realms spoiler. I was hoping to make a whole video out of that one spoiler, but I don't know enough about it to make it a whole thing, so we're not going to do that. Also, I missed a few things from yesterday, so we're just going to put them at the front here. Starting out with Sea Drake, okay? Sea Drake costs 2 mana of any color in an island, 3 CC, creature type Drake. It is a 4/3 flying. When Sea Drake enters the battlefield, return 2 target lands you control to their owner's hands. Now, I was thinking, what could this be used for? And I was thinking, well, if you could maybe do, some sort of ETB on this guy and return, a second set of lands, so 4 lands to your hand, and then follow it up by, an Armageddon or something like that, so you have 4 lands in hand, prepared to, hopefully win the land war. That seems viable. That seems reasonable, anyway. Next up, we've got Nettle cyst, which sounds awful, but it's not terrible, I guess. For 3 mana of any color, 3 CC, we have an artifact equipment living weapon. The new living weapon is a Phyrexian Germ that is a 0/0. Obviously attach this to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. Its equip cost is 2 mana. Next up, we've got some sort of white sorcery. It costs 3 mana of any color and plains, so 5 CC. Like I said, it is a sorcery. You can exile target creature card from your graveyard. Create X 1/1 bird token creatures with flying. When where X is the toughness of the exiled card. I'm just going to use a random thing. So, say for some reason you don't want to pay the upkeep for a Draco, and you've got a 12/12 Draco. Or no, not 12/12. My bad. You got a 9/9 Draco in your graveyard, so you could exile Draco, and I believe you will create 9 1/1 bird tokens with flying. Okay, next up, this was a good one from yesterday. It was funny, I put it on the... I ended up putting it on my thumbnail, but I didn't spoil it in the video, which was kind of funny. So we have Cursed Totem for 2 mana of any color, 2 CC. We have an artifact that activated abilities of creatures can't be activated. Also, the artwork is phenomenal, at least I think so. Next up, we've got Okalita del Arcus. I guess. It costs 1 forest and 1 plains, 2 CC, for some sort of creature that they didn't really do very well on the pronunciation here. We didn't do very good on the translation. But anyway, it is, I think, a 2/2. That's even cut off. So it's a 2/2 with Reach and Lifelink. It also has Outlast for a green and a white mana. And each other creature you control without a +1/+1 counter on it has Outlast for a green and a white mana. What is Outlast? I couldn't tell you at this point. Next up, we've got Raving Visionary. Let's rave. I'm down for a rave. Anybody want to rave? Raving Visionary for 1 mana of any color and a blue, 2 CC. We have a creature type Merfolk Wizard. It is a 1/1. You could pay 1 blue mana and tap this wizard to draw a card and then discard a card. This wizard also is delirious, as am I. Just kidding, it has delirium. For 3 mana, you could tap it, draw a card, activate only if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. So, creature, land, instant, sorcery, enchantment, maybe even aura would count, not 100% positive there, etc., etc. Next up, we have Tide Shaper for 1 blue mana, 1 CC, creature type Merfolk Wizard. It is a 1/1 with kicker, 1. You may pay an additional 1 as you cast the spell for its kicker. When Tide Shaper enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, target land becomes an island for as long as Tide Shaper remains on the battlefield. Tide Shaper gets +1/+1 as long as an opponent controls an island. Okay. Alrighty then. This one's pretty interesting. So next up we have Thought Monitor. Costs 6 mana of any color in an island, so 7 CC for an artifact creature construct. It is a 2/2 with affinity for artifacts, so if you have 6 artifacts on the battlefield, it only costs 1 island. It is a flying creature with, when Thought Monitor enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Pretty cool. It's just odd looking. It's odd, but it's still cool. I don't know why it's at a rare spot. I would think uncommon would be fine for this guy, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just pretend I'm wrong. Next up, we have what looks to be an artifact land. So we have a land called Energy Deposit. Like I said, I believe it's an artifact land. Energy Deposit enters the battlefield tapped. You could tap it to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. You could tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Use this mana only to cast artifacts or activate abilities of artifacts. And this land also has modular 1. So that's pretty nifty. So if this land dies, you could put the +1/+1 counter on something else, I would guess. So I assume it's got a +1/+1 counter as well. And when it dies, like I said, usually modular creatures can move their counters after death. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we've got Barbed Point, a little Thopter-looking type ordeal here. It is an artifact equipment. It costs 1 mana of any color and a plane, so 2 CC of the white variety. When Barbed Point enters the battlefield, create a Thopter creature token with flying and attach Barbed Point to it. Equipped creature has +1/+0, and its equip cost is 2. This is pretty interesting. So instead of germ tokens, we're making a Thopter boy. We're making a little thought here. Okay. Next up, we've got a white enchantment. We have Search the Premises. For 3 mana of any color and a plains, 4 CC, we have an enchantment that whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, create a clue token. I'm clueless. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Alright, dude. Next up, this one looks interesting. This one is the most appealing artwork that I've seen today. So we have Sithis, Hand of Harvest. It looks like it's a god, but maybe it's just an enchantment creature. So we have a legendary enchantment creature. When you cast an enchantment spell, gain 1 life and draw a card. So we've got, once again, some more enchantment love. It costs 1 green mana and 1 white mana, so 2 CC of the green-white variety. So yeah, I'm digging this one. This one's pretty cool. I don't really mess with any enchantment decks, but cool nonetheless. Next up, we have Courier. For 1 mana of any color and a plains island, 3 CC, we have an artifact creature, Thopter. It is a 1/1 with flying. When Courier enters the battlefield, reveal the top 2 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. If you put an artifact card into your hand this way, you gain 3 life, rather. Okay. Next up, we have an old land that I haven't seen in a long time. We have Riptide Laboratory. I don't think it's an artifact land. No, it's just a regular land. You could tap it to add a colorless mana to your mana pool. You could pay 1 mana of any color and a blue mana. So 2 mana, also tapping this third land. 2, return target wizard you control to its owner's hand. So it's a little bit of wizard love here. Coming back for the reprint. Pretty nice. I like it a lot. Next up, we've got some more Squirrel Love. It looks like we've got Chitter Spitter. My bad. For 3 mana of any color and a forest, 3 CC for the Chitter Spitter. It is an artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a token. If you do, put a acorn counter on Chitter Spitter. Squirrels you control get +1/+1 for each acorn counter on Chitter Spitter. You can pay 1 green mana and tap this Chitter Spitter to create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. So it's got its own engine built right in. Very, very nice. Very good. Very, very nice. I'm excited. I don't know if I'm going to end up building squirrels over bears, but it's becoming a possibility. If it wasn't for the fact all the old squirrel stuff costs like $20 or more, it would be nice to do. I would do it. Next up, I thought this card wasn't even in English, but it is. We have Doth Voidwalker for 1 swamp and another swamp. So 2 swamps, 2 CC. It is a creature type Doth Rogue. It is a 3/2 with Shadow. One of my favorite abilities, Shadow. This creature can't be blocked or be blocked by only creatures with Shadow. If a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead exile it with a Void counter on it. You could tap this Voidwalker to sacrifice Doth Voidwalker. Choose an exiled card an opponent owns with a Void counter on it. You may play it this turn without paying its mana cost. That's pretty good. What you guys think? Is that good? What do we think on that one? Pretty sweet, huh? Huh? I think so. Next up, we have Bloodbraid Marauder for 1 mana of any color and a mountain 2 CC. We have a creature type human berserker. It is a 3/1 that can't block. It's also delirious, as am I. It's got delirium. This spell has cascade as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Let's go through delirium, because this thing actually has what it is. So when you cast this spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. Oh, that must be, is that the cascade? You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put the exile cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. Alright, I believe that's the cascade ability. If I may be wrong, but that sounds a lot like cascade. I guess delirium is the 4 card type ordeal. Okay. Next up, we've got a cool sphincter. We've got Ethersworn Sphinx for 7 mana of any color and a Plains Island. So 9 CC. It is a 4/4, but it does have affinity for artifacts. So it costs 1 generic less to cast for each artifact you control. It also has flying, and it also has cascade. Pretty cool. I do enjoy the artwork on this. Sphinx are pretty decent. Very nice. Next up, and possibly last Modern Horizon 2 spoiler of this little segment. I believe there will be another segment this evening if we get enough spoilers. So we have Foundation Breaker. Costs 3 mana of any color and a forest, 4 CC. It is a 2/2 creature elemental. When Foundation Breaker enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. It also has Evoke for 1 mana of any color and a forest, so its Evoke cost is 2. You may cast this spell for its Evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it enters the battlefield. So you could use it as a destroy target artifact or enchantment for 2 mana rather than 4. Or for 4 mana, and you also get a 2/2. Which could even be better, because then you could abuse it as an ETB. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to quickly move on to the Adventures of the Forgotten Realms. Now, I don't know a whole lot of D&D, except for it seems pretty exciting, etc. But we have a new card spoiler for it, so we're just going to go over it very quick. It's called Cloister Gargoyle. It costs 2 mana of any color and then a plains, so 3 mana. It is an artifact creature gargoyle. It is a 0/4. When Cloister Gargoyle enters the battlefield, venture into the dungeon. Yeah. As long as you've completed a dungeon, Cloister Gargoyle gets +3/+0 and has flying. So and this has been out for like a week or so. It's been out for a while. I've just been trying to figure out how I want to spoil it, because I don't know a whole lot about D&D. I didn't watch the other person's video that made a video on it, so I don't know if they've talked about the dungeon mechanic, so I'm just going to guess. So I'm guessing the dungeon mechanic, I mean, it could be card-based, so it could be some sort of card or something like that, kind of like how do we want to put this? So they have like some card sets that came out with Magic. They had the ones with the planes on them, or whatever you might want to call it. So it could be like some sort of cards that support this dungeon mechanic, or it could be simple like rolling a series of die or something like that to see if you beat the dungeon. It could be something like that. These are all just guesses. I probably should have watched the other man's video. But I like to go into these things blind. Anyway, if you like these videos, please subscribe. I just want to give you a little incentive very quick. I'm not going to go in as long as some of the other videos, but long story short is I have a 3-person giveaway coming up. It looks like it's going to be about 3 weeks, so it's going to be right around the 20th or the 21st, whenever my box arrives from Card Kingdom. We're going to have a box opening. During the box opening, I will then start my 3-week-long giveaway, massive giveaway, 3 winners. You could win either 3 booster packs, 2 booster packs, or 1 booster pack delivered directly to your door anywhere in the world for free. All you have to do is subscribe, like that video, and subscribe, subscribe, like the video, and write a comment on the video that comes out with the box opening. That's how I pick the winner, with a random comment picker. So yeah, please subscribe if you're interested in EDH or Commander gameplay. Go ahead and check out Commander Wars EDH. I play on that channel as well. It's another channel that I co-own or whatever with a group of friends of mine. So if you want to go check out some gameplay, maybe come back, check out a deck tech. I know this upcoming Friday, I have a new deck tech that's going to be launched on my channel on Friday at like 5 o'clock. And the gameplay is going to come out on the Commander Wars EDH channel at around like noon, 1 o'clock. So that's something cool to look forward to if you're into something like that. Like I said, I do box openings. We've done like 3 massive giveaways so far. So the 4th one is coming up. I expect to put some more content on the channel as well. For now, I'm doing the spoilers as they come out, and I'm also doing like once a week. I'm gonna start doing deck techs on the weekly build for the other channel. Hope y'all are having a wonderful evening, wonderful afternoon, or a wonderful good morning. See ya!